Hey guys, welcome back. Well, as you know, we're in the final stages on the 87 L9000. So it's a little, I don't know if you can see that. Probably doesn't show up on camera very well, but you hear that? Yeah, thunder in the distance. So we got another little storm rolling through. It's been off and on storming today. So I've been picking away in between, but let me show you. I want to give you a little, it's not final, nothing's ever done, but let me show you the closest thing yet to final on the interior, along with a couple other things. Hang tight. Okay, well, it's actually almost a week later since I said, let's go check out the interior. I've actually done a few more things, so I might as well catch you up. What happened was, in the advancement of technology and the YouTube world of Rob, I've been trying to use a mic that I picked up, and I think batteries on my mic died, and I didn't realize it until I went to edit the video. And I tried to do some voiceover the next day. It just ran out of time at work. So anyway, let's. Now I hope I'm in wide pan mode here, so hopefully it doesn't skew things too much. But I'll show you what we got. So the things we've done, the dash is all painted. You can see this outer band used to be black. I went silver because the outer dash is black, the actual dashboard itself. So I thought, why, we don't need that, and that kept me from having to cut in this line right here. Just all silver, so it cleaned up really nice. That's just some hardware store oil-based satin aluminum brush paint, and that way I didn't have to remove any gauges, which I didn't want to do. Nothing you can see right now, but we've got full LEDs in all of the gauges. Those look pretty good. AC is holding air. I took those lines off and completely cleaned them up with the wire wheel and cleaned up the O-rings, cleaned up the sealing surfaces, put them back on, and I think we're holding pressure. I got to top up the charge just a little bit, put another part of a can into it, but we're good to go. Got some labels on my gauges, just crappy label maker labels. I'm not thrilled with them, but they'll do for now. And just generally everything cleaned up and going, right? We're going. I don't think there's much else to show you in here. We got the old Go magnet, great brand, veteran-owned brand, so that's where I keep the piece. And I don't know, I don't remember what I've covered. It's been so darn long, to be honest with you guys, since almost 2 weeks here since I've had a video, so I don't remember what all was done and what wasn't, but I tell you, everything's functional, everything's working. We're in business. Oh, that's what's different. See that seat over there? Came back from the upholstery shop. He didn't have the perfect match tweed, but he's pretty darn close as I can ask for, especially for the price. So I gave my wife the good brand new seat, and I'll take the one that's a little wore out, a little cleaner for me, or cleaner for her. I took the dirty one. So that's about the size of it. You've seen everything else back here. Got my turn signal issue figured out, largely anyway. The posters, including JC Smith, were 100% right. The replacement flasher can that I got last week, my parts store messed up, and it was not LED specific as much as they swore to me that it was. So I ordered on old trusty Amazon a Grote. I didn't want a Chinese brand, so I ordered a Grote LED specific, wired it in. Everything flashes properly now, other than it didn't work right away. I had to actually flip-flop the wires on the harness, which I kind of suspected could be the case, so caught that pretty quick. And yeah, we're flashing perfectly now. Lighting all is 100% functional. So my tasks for this weekend, it's Friday afternoon right now, but I think we're down to just the nitty gritty, folks. We got some. I see a wire right there that needs to be tucked up. I mentioned I've got to top up the AC. I need to get some polishing wheels ordered because I'm burnt out on some of mine, so I need to get some more polishing gear because we got to get some things polished up before the big trip. Namely wheels and tanks and the lid of that box. That's a cheap, crappy box. Beyond that, we got a little bit of greasing left to do and some doors here and there. Some like that you can hear. I mean, just some little odds and ends. Nothing. There's that seat. There's a better shot of that. So nothing crazy. I'm sure there's more on my list. Little minor things. Some more just cleaning and painting and polishing and just getting her looking good. Other than there is one larger task that I haven't decided yet. I got to take some final measurements probably today. So I got two problems. One is I want a little more road speed. These 373s are just not, they're not suiting me. So my first thought was, hey, maybe this winter I'll pick up a center section, you know, and raise my ratio to get us a little more highway speed, especially for what I'm doing. Well, then I noticed, if you see, guys, what I see, that's moisture. It's not very much. The truck's got almost 400 miles on it just in the last 2 weeks. But that's moisture coming out of, I believe, my center line weld or the center line of that axle. So that welding I did is not holding, I don't think. It could be out of the center section gasket, the sealing face of the center section, but I don't believe it is. So what that brings to mind is, do we look at swapping out the axle for the original L9000 axle? So I've got the axle sitting over across the street. It's actually a physically larger axle than this, which may actually be the only problem why I can't do it. It's a stud pilot still. The brake chambers come off the rear of that one, which would completely be in the way of the airleaf, the Peterbilt airleaf suspension that I have. But obviously that's as simple as changing out my mounting plates, and I'd just swap these cans and slack adjusters and S-cams and brakes and everything over to that axle. Now the difference is it is physically larger. It's a bigger pumpkin, and I got to take some actual measurements. I need to get it moved and get it brought up here, and then I can put some straight edges on it and measure from the U-joint face. But I'm worried that it's going to stick farther forward than I want it to by about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and it's going to take up all the slack I've got in my slip yoke. So it might involve me welding that slip yoke again. Trying to avoid that though. So we got to get some final measurements. Like I say, I think I can actually make it work. So that may be a task for, you know, it's not leaking bad. It's nothing major. But I'd feel better if it was done. And then we'd also solve the problem. We'd get our highway gears back and it'd be a 75-mile-an-hour truck instead of a 67-mile-an-hour truck nominally. 75, maybe even 78. We'd gain almost 10 miles an hour out of that ratio change from a 373 to a 355. And basically lower our speed and accordingly, or not our speed, but our engine speed, and get a little bit of mileage doing it. So we'll see. I'll find out here later, but you'll find out in like the next second as you watch this video what I decide to do. All right, well, poof, it's 2 days later, but you can see I've made my decision. I am going to have to do some modifications to the spring perches and plates on the truck, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure those locating pins are in the wrong spot. This one's still there. That one's gone anyway, rusted away, but I've disassembled everything. I've pulled all the backing plates and brake hardware off down to the mounting flanges, and then reinstalled the hubs and axles so I can get paint on them, get them cleaned up, and also protect the spindles. So already cleaned up, wired, wheeled, and we are ready to shoot some chassis saver on it. I'm going to gun paint instead of brush paint because that's obnoxious. It would take forever on this. It's still drying. I power washed it after I wheeled it and degreased and everything. So we got to let it dry up a little bit more. But as you can see, I'm just about ready to mix up the chassis saver. We got that all good, ready to go. And it really impressed with this axle. It is truly a 116,000 mile axle. Original bearings, original Ford seals in the wheel end still. Bearings look beautiful. To be honest with you, the fluid is beautiful. I'm not even gonna change it, guys. I'm gonna top it up, but you can see right there. If I can stay in the light, original Ford. So we'll replace them with Nationals or what have you. But so that's all I'm gonna do is put some wheel seals, and then some new nuts for the axle nuts, just because these are all rusty and crusty, and I wanna. I'm debating on whether I'm gonna, after the chassis saver later on today, I'm gonna paint this. I may mix up and do my cab color on the hub ends. Haven't quite decided yet, but I think that might be the case. We'll do the whole thing in black first, and then I might top coat, or either that, or I may just not even paint the hub ends and mix up a small batch of that Dodge Challenger color because I really like it. And I think it would look sweet, and then just get rid of the chrome rear cap. So I mean, it's got to get paint one way or the other, right? So I'm gonna get after it. Alright guys, well, don't judge her. She's dirty. Not super dirty. I washed it last night, but it's got water spots because it was late and it was going to rain, and I didn't dry it off, so she's got water spots. She's a 20-footer right now. But I just brought the skid steer home for the weekend because our parking lot at work's getting seal coated, so I had to get equipment and trailers out and everything cleared out. So so I was hauling this around today. I've actually put, I don't know, a couple hundred miles with the trailer behind the truck. It is doing awesome. I've really had literally, I want to say, 0 issues, so that's a good thing. But I need to bring this home too because I got some trees I'm taking down. I need some room. I want to be able to pull this thing in here and make a loop instead of backing it in. So, and I got the room to do it. So we're gonna take the trees down so we can get some gravel in here. But I mean, earlier mostly I've been hauling excavator with it, with the skid. Right now I left the excavator on a job site, so we just brought the skid home. But just thought I'd give you a little look, see what she's doing. This is a rental machine. It's a little heavier, so it is with the bucket and forks, it's about 11,500 pounds on it. So usually I've been running the excavator with it. Our excavator's only a 6,400 pound excavator. Second bucket makes it probably closer to 7, but regardless, just about right. I mean, with the excavator, we're running right around 18,000. So with proper tongue weight up on the pin on the truck, that's about perfect. Perfect legal weight. So with this, obviously, we're light with only just the skid steer, but she is looking good. Proper working truck, right? All right, guys. Well, this is, I suppose, still L9000 content. I mean, because there it is, looking sweet, hooked up to the gooseneck. But so anyway, after I got done working over here and loaded up the skid and washed the truck and hooked it back up, I had to test the whole reason why I brought this home this weekend and did all this work. I want to be able to spin the trailer around. I'm tired of trying to back in over here and pan out a little bit. You can see how much space we've got now. I would guess, you know, even not counting all this over here, if we just go to the hard line right here, you know, at this wide point over here, that's every bit of 60, probably 70 feet. Could even be 80, to be honest with you. over to the far edge, and then it narrows down. But with those two trees gone that were basically just in front of the nose, and being able to pull over here, when I pull out now, my trailer axles don't come anywhere near the ditch. And before, I literally had to pretty much put it through the ditch, and that's after widening my culvert. So I can just loop right in now. You can see my trailer tire tracks right there. Loop right in, turn around, one back up to get me angled back, and I mean, I think I could fit at least a 48-foot trailer in here. I don't know, about a 53, we'd be close. So now I gotta get a few tons of gravel over here so we can have that graveled, so otherwise that's gonna be a mud pit come fall. But we get about 20-30 ton of gravel in there and compact it in, and now we're really Billy Big Rigging, aren't we? We got a Billy Big Rig turnaround. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for this week's video. Just some gobbledygook, basically. Nothing earth-shattering, unfortunately. I wish I had more to give you. I'd love to have some in-cab video or some video from the trailer of the truck driving now that she's all mostly sorted. But my F450 is getting, well, the cab wheeled and the bed painted this weekend, and it's been gone for a few days now. And my suction cup mount phone holder, I left in the truck, so I can't hold a phone and shift to 9-speed. That's just not, that's asking for trouble. So I don't have anything like that. So mostly just some updates, some cool shots, some cool stuff going on, making the whole rig work. And that axle we will finish up next weekend, through this week and next weekend. The chassis saver needs to set up a little bit longer, and I don't have any hardener for my single stage or my base clear stuff to paint that axle and hub. So we need to let that dry up some more anyway. Chassis saver wants 24 to 48 hours before we top coat it. So we will let it get it, and I'll paint it one night through this week, and then next weekend we'll be ready for, it's a long weekend for Labor Day, and we'll be ready for some axle disassembly. So as always, guys, I really, really appreciate you watching. Also, some big news, if you didn't notice, and I don't know what it means or what it is, but it's kind of cool that I passed 1,000 subscribers. So thank you to every single one of you for subscribing and watching and keeping up on this. And we'll see what the next project is, right? This one's not done yet. We'll have some more updates on this as we inch towards the big truck show coming up here in a few weeks. So thanks for watching. You guys have a great week, and take care.